Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first video of Paranormal Artist. I have Drea with me.
Yay!
She's finally back. It's been ages. We have Professor Pungence with us. It's not Bones. It is not Bones. For those of you, he is a Pokemon professor, and I am Charizard.
I don't even know how to describe what my costume is, because this is just normal clothes that I threw together into a costume. This is all normal shit.
I am Charizard. I'm gonna take my hood off though, because I'm fucking melting.
Not surprised. Also, like, when it comes to my costume, I was freaking shooketh. My freaking boyfriend was just like, "You're a fruit bat," and I was like, I was immediately like jokingly offended. I was like, "Why am I a fruit bat?"
Yeah, why are you a fruit bat?
He had two explanations. One, that was the actual one, and then the second one he sassed me with because I asked him. The first real one was, "Oh, because, you know, you have some color going on and you have a little bad thing." The second one was because I'm gay.
No! Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. We haven't even... Oh my god.
I knew you would like that, and I saved the explanation specifically.
Oh Lord. We did it. Oh god, I'm broken. I'm broken! I can't handle this.
We haven't even started yet. Don't be broken.
I know. Anyway, today's the Halloween episode, and yes, we're gonna start filming podcasts more together. Or possibly forever. I'm not sure yet.
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how this goes, because already we're going. I put the hood back on.
We're already fucking around.
We're already... It's over. We're done. I'm gonna keep the hood on. I decided that now I feel comfortable with it. Shut up. All right. So today we have spent an entire week.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of took this as a college assignment and did it all last second, like within 2 days.
Me too, actually. Me fucking too. I actually wrote this yesterday.
I finished yesterday. I started the day before and I finished yesterday.
I don't know, because I was busy working on the last episode, so then I was like, I've
just been too tired with actual work. I was just like not getting.
Yeah, no, I've been coming home and I've just been like collapsing on my bed, just staring at the ceiling like fuck. Basically, that's all I live for right now. See, my horns are not lining up right. Okay. I should have got the fucking beanie. Everybody loves a beanie. I stole it. I like beanies. Anyway, in honor of Halloween. Shall I put the beanie on? Nah, it doesn't match. Yeah, I was debating on if I was going to wear this.
So yes, in honor of Halloween, what?
Oh, yeah, right. Anyway, in honor of Halloween, we decided that we're going to talk about an urban legend. Do you know what that is?
Very appropriately, it's the Candy Lady. Because why the fuck not? It's Halloween.
I'm just saying. So as you know.
as usual, I have paper notes and she does not.
I don't have a table, okay? Listen, I'm working with some ghetto shit right now. Everything's been rigged up in a certain way. Bones is hanging by a string. I mean, Pungence is hanging by a string.
Excuse me. He's a
I feel like I want to start over, but
he's
no.
A professor. He did not take his time in school for you to just call him his name. He's a professor. It just feels like when we were in college and like the professors would be so.
I know I've said this story. I know I've said this story once, and I'm gonna say it for a fucking millionth time. I will never forget looking over, and this bitch has her computer like this, watching Futurama and Skyping somebody, and as the professor walks by, she click, and then there's notes. I'm like, what the fuck did I just see? And she still finds it funny.
It's hilarious, especially because like there's still honestly new episodes of Futurama coming out too. So I watched it recently.
I don't know. I don't even know how we started talking. I don't know if it was after that, before that, or during that, or if we ended up being lab partners somehow. I don't remember. It's been too long.
I feel like what it was is that everyone else was more social, so they all paired up to be lab partners. And we were just the weirdos in the back that were like
wearing
you need a partner, okay,
long sleeves
sure.
and fucking beanies and like fucking 100-degree weather.
I've been wearing a beanie at work when half of my work is outside and it's hot as hell. It hides my earbuds because we're not allowed to wear earbuds.
I wish I could get away with that. Anyway, every state has legends. Every city has stories. There's cryptids, cautionary tales that we all grew up with. But what if I told you that there's another legend to add on to the list? She likes it.
I researched the same thing, but oh no.
But we already know there's so many legends that are here in Texas, so many stories that we've heard. And actually I found a new one just yesterday.
Is it the thing that we were just like, oh, I'm gonna do a thing, and you're like, I'm gonna do a thing?
No, actually, this is different. This one, believe it or not, there is a second goat man up here in DFW. That's right. So we have the donkey lady in San Antonio. We have the goat man of Denton. And we have a new one. I don't know which city this one's from. This is new, but this is not the one I'm talking about. The Texas Headless Horseman. It's giving Sleepy Hollow, isn't it?
It is giving Sleepy Hollow.
So this one that I found out is actually the goat man of Lake Worth. Like I said, I literally just found out about it yesterday. Like as I was finishing up.
Sounds like
and then
future episode.
Well, it's already on the list, so yeah. Yeah. Today we're going to the town of Terrell. Is it Terrell? Terrell?
I have no fucking clue. I mean, it's just even within Texas, depending on where you're from, everyone says shit differently anyway.
She's not wrong. Everywhere says it.
Like fucking, I grew up near-ish, like a German town where everyone called it by the English equivalent. They're like, oh, let's go to Green for the weekend.
Green? Where's Green?
Like central-ish, because I mean, I'm from San Antonio, so like central-ish or somewhere around there. But like, again, like the English word is Green, but it's because it's a German town. I'm probably gonna fail the pronunciation, but like gun.
Oh, I see.
Like it's literally named Green, but you fucking better not say Green when you're there, or else people are gonna be like, "You're a tourist."
I'm a tourist.
You're a tourist.
Oh, a tourist.
You're a tourist.
A tourist. We're tourists. Tourists now. And we're not making fun of anybody. I just find it really funny how every city says something different. Have you ever heard of a winder?
Yes, I've heard of a winder.
Okay. Well, I haven't heard.
You shut that darn winder.
Shut that winder.
We're honestly not making fun of people. These are people in like our families who talk like this.
I have somebody in my family. I can't even describe it, but do you know how Stewie says what? Or like whipped?
Coofit.
Yes, like that. He goes, what? And I'm like, how? There's no H before the W. What is going on here?
I know something worse.
Oh, God.
My grandpa says tortilla. And he wants some chicken flagitas.
Chicken flagitas.
I am not saying an inappropriate word. He pronounces it flagita.
It's that family guy's like, I'll take I'll take 10,000 chicken vaginas. The guy's like, what's that?
We haven't even started that much because we just keep doing it.
So anyway, the town of Terrell, if I said it right, don't have at me. I mean, come at me if you will, but
Terrell,
whatever. That's where the terrifying story of the Candy Lady was born. And many of you, we all know the Candy Man. Do you know the Candy Man?
Let's not discuss the Candy Man until later.
I was talking about the movie. Oh my God. What a fuckery.
Very big fuckery.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the Candy Lady. And apparently this is one of Texas' most creepy urban legends. Shockingly to us all, I found out about this on TikTok.
I had previously heard about it and then totally forgot about it.
No help. No help at all.
Again, it's just such a short story.
Well, you know, I'm going to jump into the story.
Go ahead.
All right. In the early 1900s, 8 children would vanish in the middle of the night. 8 children. Adults were baffled. They couldn't figure out just how the kids were vanishing like that. People were scared, worried that their kids would be next. Then an older kid finally told somebody something. Finally, after all this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a secret had been kept, apparently, for all these years.
Mm.
Kids would tell their parents that sometimes they would find candy on the windowsills of their bedrooms.
With nice little notes saying from the Candy Lady.
Yes, some of these papers, some of these wrappers would say, "Can you come out to play from the Candy Lady?"
Stranger danger.
Yes. The kids were afraid to tell anybody about this, so they kept it quiet for a long time.
I feel like what it was is not that they were like scared, like stranger danger, but like, I don't want my parents to stop my supply of free candy.
I feel like in today's age, maybe. Anyway, the kids were scared, so they stayed quiet about it. I mean, kids get scared of things and they don't want to tell their parents things because they think they're going to get in trouble for it.
True.
Right? So a search party was formed, and as they searched for these kids, apparently strange things started happening. First, there was a farmer. I'm sure you already know what I'm saying.
Yep.
There was a farmer. He was working his field like what farmers do, right? So apparently he found random candy wrappers around his farm. All right, listen, I've been out to a farm. Candy wrappers they don't just show up, okay? They
like if you have,
if you're in the field,
it was. So it's just like, even if it's like only a half acre, that's still pretty big for like a field. And this is probably likely more than like 5 acres or something. So it's just like
it's a big farm. It's not small, right? I mean, it's probably like, I mean, back in the day, people could have like a shitload of land.
Exactly.
So
like all of your land, you somehow managed to find
candy wrappers. So what does that tell you? I'm a little scared. I mean, my grandpa owned a farm and he had, I don't know how many acres, but we would go out there. You would find blocks of dirt like this big, but never candy wrappers. Never.
My God, you found clods.
Not clogs.
Clods.
Clods? I don't know anything about farm.
Universe, right?
No.
My God. So there's like an offensive term that one of them uses to call like a lump of dirt. It's called a clod.
Well, that's news to me. I didn't know that. Anyway, as he picked up the candy wrapper, he's wondering how there are candy wrappers in the middle of his field, like I myself am wondering, and she probably also wondered. Because how the hell does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
As he picked it up, a rotten baby tooth or child tooth. It's just a baby tooth, right? That's what they call it.
I mean, my notes were just like multiple teeth.
Well, children's teeth fell out of the wrapper. Like that's confetti. Unsettling. Did you say confetti? Yeah. Confetti, guys.
Confetti.
A bony confetti. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Professor Pungence. I am sorry. He doesn't have any missing teeth, but his jaw has been open since we started talking. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He shook it.
Mick shook it.
He's like, oh, dang, it's okay.
So the second weird thing to happen was a cop disappeared while they were searching. That was kind of creepy. That was a little ominous, bro. I mean, I don't...
Because, like, I'm just, like, keeping track mentally in my notes of where we're at. I'm just like, I remember this part. Oh, no.
So he disappears, just like the kids. Gone without a trace. Nobody knows where he's at. Until a few weeks later, when they find his body in a ditch.
With freaking forks stabbed into his eyeballs. And his pockets full of candy. That just sounds terrifying. Like...
Art the Clown, everybody.
I'm just, like, thinking of what it looks like, you know, to have freaking forks in your eyeballs. And it just sounds...
Shockingly, during my time at the ER, I never saw such a thing. Yeah. However, I did see somebody with a fucked up eye infection, and I won't forget that one. That was bad. So, yes, his pockets were loaded with candy, and he had forks in his eyeballs. I don't know if his eyeballs were physically there still, or if they were just jammed in his eye sockets. I don't know. I don't want to look any further than that.
I imagine jammed into the sockets, That's just how my brain goes.
What does he think about it? The bone of the orbital is like like eggshell thin. So like all you have to do is put a little. That's why it was so easy for them to do like lobotomies with the ice pick. You just get in there, tap, 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 and then you're in, right? That's it. So stabbing a fork through an eyeball, whether it's there or not, I mean, I don't know. These things are full of just fluid. Basically, it's just a giant jelly ball. Why is my ear ringing? Whatever. Somebody's talking shit.
I'm thinking. It is.
Anyway, it's believed that he was beaten to death and then thrown into the bank of a river or a ditch, as some others have said. What is so funny?
He was possibly beaten to death.
Okay.
And he has candy in his pockets.
I'm not putting the two together right here.
And now people can finally see the looks of disappointment she gives me. He's a pinata.
Mini Bones, listen, I don't know what to do here. I need help. I need help because I don't know how much more of this I can take. There have been puns, far too many, in here. Oh, sorry, Bob. Okay, Mini Bones has been disappointed.
Yeah.
We're moving on. Anyway, they found him in a possible river or a ditch. And thus, the legend was born and is still told to this day. Have you anything to add? Do you know who she is?
Yes, and that's what I was going to add. But I did see like 2 different names, but one of them I could find no confirmation on, so I just got rid of that shit. But I do have, let's see, the name Clara Crane, but I'm pretty sure that might have been typed wrong because I'm pretty sure it's Crane. And
it's
why
Crane.
Is that the one time? Every other instance says fucking Crane, and I'm like, why does it say Crane? Autocorrect of typing. Clara Crane, who was originally born Clara Smith.
I actually didn't know that. I only have her on my notes as Clara Crane. Mm-hmm. However, I do have a picture for her, which I'm going to be putting somewhere in here.
So I have Clara Crane, who married a man well older than her, but not, not surprising for the day and age. Normal.
Yeah, like here in the US, I'm not sure how it was around the world. Well, you know what? It was probably worse. Right, I can imagine that. There would be like people in their 30s being married off to like 12-year-olds or something, regardless of the fact.
The estimates I was finding was like 16, 17, so like still bad in modern times, but like
yeah, she was definitely
as bad as it could have been.
No, but she's definitely a teenager at this time. She is still a child,
like a 30-something-year-old man.
Yes, it's kind of terrible. I don't know if it was arranged or how this became, but it became nonetheless.
Unfortunately. For him. But
spoiler alert.
I mean, we're talking about a ghost story. Someone's gonna have to, get all jacked up at some point. But...
This whole episode has been jacked up so far. I'm still done with your fucking ass. Mini Bones is still done with you. He had to come out of hiding for this shit.
Pinata.
God, it's me again. I'm sorry for what I said last week, but this week, there's gonna be a murder.
Anyways, so they did have one daughter together. I already lost it. Her name was Marcella.
AKA Marcy.
Yes. Who unfortunately passed away in a tragic accident on the farm when she was supposed to be under her father's supervision. It is very likely that he was just drunk and not actually paying attention to her.
Possibly. Now, I don't know anything about farms, but is this normal to get drunk while you're working the farm, or...
Yeah. What?
That explains that one professor you had. Y'all, I've known Drea since, God, what year? It's been at least 12 years.
Was it my first or second year in college? I feel like it was the first.
I feel like it was the first two because
I feel like it was like for me freshman chem.
yeah, I think it's
So
I think it's
then-
12 years then.
So then yeah, that would have been 2013.
12 years, 11 years, give or take, right? Listen, God,
When I
there's
was the one city kid in the class of farm kids.
I remember we drove all the way out there one time to her agriculture class, whatever. Ag, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Her ag class. And I mean, they're out there in the sticks so far that the sex shop was right pretty much a turn away. So naturally, we did not go there and we did not buy anything either. What a shame. We
There
went
was
to
one
class.
closer to campus anyway.
But then it turned into a vape. Honestly, there was literally a sex shop like
walking
5 minutes
from the
not
door.
even right. I'm just like, cool. But then apparently they decided that they were going to switch it up and become a vape shop at some point.
Do.
That sucks. I don't know if this shop that I certainly don't know anything about is still open, but I cannot say for sure that we never went. Anyway, I don't know.
Fuck, I went. I needed it.
Listen, it is what it is, and
But
I did not buy anything from there. The class was in the sticks. We saw the shop. We didn't go in, and we never bought anything either. I did not spend an amount of money there either. And if you're listening and you're related to me, no, you're not. Anyway, moving forward, she died. Right, the kid died. She was supposedly 5 years old, somewhere around there. I don't know exact dates or whatever, but
I kept on finding so many conflicting years for everything because I usually like to keep my notes like in chronological order with like year timestamps. I could fucking not for this episode because some things were like, she was born 1872, but then it's like, but all the disappearances were like 1900 this, so that doesn't math right considering like the thing that happens later has a specific timestamp. So it's just like this isn't mathing.
Yeah. There was a lot of conflicting stuff. I feel like maybe I was able to stay within like a chronological order, sort of. So after the death of her child, she's a grieving mother. She is a grieving mother, okay? I have experienced grief. I'm sure you've experienced grief. But the one thing that you cannot ever wish to experience, you don't want to experience it, is a grieving mother. Yeah. I have been there when somebody pronounced their child dead to a mom. I heard the screams. My blood still, like, runs cold when I hear it because I will never forget the sound of a mother who just lost her kid. It's tragic. So to think that this one had just started her life and was killed in a way that we weren't able to find out, by the way, we don't know unless you found out.
All I ever saw was farm accident.
Farm accident. That's it.
I'm just like,
so I'm like tractor.
Like,
what is that thing that cuts the wheat down? Do you think that was a thing back then? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
There's a handheld scythe, but I don't know if there was like a machine.
The only thing that I could think of is that this girl got in the way of something that was obviously very dangerous, and she ended up dying, and dad was not watching. And I mean, that's a tale as old as fucking time, apparently. But she died. So this mom, Clara, spent a whole 2 years stewing with rage, and like getting help for your mind back then was just, you're gonna go to an asylum. Let's just put it that way. And I know that's not the right word.
If you're a woman.
Yes, if you're a woman, you're grieving, and you have any kind of anything that is outside the line,
Mania.
Me and her would be in an asylum by him.
We would have been in an asylum forever. We would have been in an asylum before we met. We would have met in an asylum and probably would have still freaking quit.
My favorite thing about both of us is that A, we both grew up in San Antonio. B, we both went to the same Britney Spears concert in the early 2000s. And C, we were apparently in the same school district at one point. We have been like this close and never met. Not once crossed paths until
Ross, Texas.
College. That's it. And I don't even know how that conversation came up, but she said what school she was going to, what district she was in, and I was like, no shit, so was I. and I guess that's where this whole thing was born.
I think I remember how we figured it out. We were talking about a different ghost thing that we've already just talked about. We were talking about the ghost tracks.
Yes,
we were
that's
specifically
it.
discussing like
so
one
me
of us,
and Drea, both of us,
us,
we've always been into like, as you see behind it, we have been into the scariness, creepy pastas, anything you name it. We love it. She won't go ghost hunting because she's scared.
I'm a pussy.
I am not. So yeah, it's crazy. This is how tiny it is.
Just happened to bring it up, and then it was like, "Hey, that's my hometown."
Hey, I know you. But yeah, I thought it was crazy. So anyway, we would have been in an asylum probably at the age of this child's death, because we already were basket cases from the get-go.
God, yes.
God help us. See,
the
as you can see,
emos.
Dude, I know. Shall I insert a picture of me in emo phase?
If you do, I feel like I have to, and I still have some from MySpace.
I don't have my MySpace pictures anymore, but just know it involved a digital camera and me going.
Mine were all like the shitty cell phone cameras, like mirror selfies.
Oh my god!
A few actual.
Did
selfies.
You?
But I can guarantee you, if we do end up posting it, the quality is horrible. It's an older fucking phone. It's an older camera. Yes, it's horrible. But
I will have one thing to say. You will still see my emo pictures on Facebook because I've literally had Facebook since high school. So
I've had mine since 2009.
Like that. So I'm gonna post the pictures again because it's funny. I mean, I oh Lord God. Did you ever have to record your favorite song on your flip phone to make it as a ringtone? Because I remember doing that. Oh God.
Not only that, but I also remember like friggin' having friends who could manage to download stuff for free, download stuff for me, and then send them to me because I couldn't download things myself.
Listen, if you are under millennial age, go on TikTok. There's this one lady who literally does an excellent job at representing what life was like and that time. I mean,
I had like 3 or 4 ringtones of like popular music of the time where there was no one singing. It was just like ringtone sounds being played for the songs.
God damn. I had this oh God. It was what? I know.
And then in high school,
oh God,
I had a friend do similar, but it wasn't like full ringtones. It was like notifications. It was all Gur from Invader Zim. so like
I want you to know now. I was emo. I thought Gur was cute, but I never got into Invader Zim. That I was not Invader Zim emo. I was
my Sweet 16 was Gur thing.
I didn't have a Sweet 16. Actually, I was so afraid that people wouldn't show up to my birthday parties that I just like nixed the birthday parties altogether.
It was
in fact, I was the emo who was singing Evanescence at the top of my lungs in my room and having my mom say, and I quote, "Turn off that screaming bitch. I'm sick of hearing her." End quote. My mom to this day cannot stand Evanescence, by the way. Can't stand it. And what was the other thing? There was something else that she just, oh God. I don't know, but I was not an Invader Zim emo. I was more like, God, I don't even know. I can't describe it. It's been so long.
Trying to think of what cat. I had a movie come to my head to describe it, but I can't remember the name for the life of me.
God.
I hate when this happens. Also, all the horrible sidetrack, but now this is going to bother me till I remember.
Oh, Lord. I mean...
The one with the witches, and then they all freaking turn against it, like the power of 3 bullshit.
The Craft?
Yes. The Craft. I am horrible at remembering things. Yes, The Craft. I feel like you were The Craft. Like, you were like there, but you were getting there.
You know, I don't remember. I know that I first started, like, going towards the darkness.
Like
Not like that.
Like cult classic emo.
Horror movie loving.
Cult classic.
Yeah, cult classic. Yeah, that's where I was.
Whereas
I started wearing black
riding
when
the
I
line
was 10 years old. So this is the most color you'll probably ever see me in. Happy Halloween, by the way.
Shit, the same.
So I've been wearing black for 22 years. Just black every single day. 22 years of my life.
Ain't it black?
I was born in darkness. It was a stormy day, the day I was born. I'm not kidding, it really was.
I honestly don't know.
I only know because I asked. Anyway, we're gonna go back to tracking this. So she's pissed off. Yes, finally. Clara is angry, stewing this anger just pent up inside of her for 2 years after her child's death. Until one day, she finally got her revenge. I mean,
in the sweetest way possible.
Yes, I mean, when you're being offered something so sweet and so delicious, who are you going to turn it down, especially from the love of your life?
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's all homemade, like that's just so nice. You just have to eat it.
We love a homemaker. We love a homemaker. So who would turn it down, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's a nice, innocent gesture. Wrong. Absolutely
Very
wrong. So wrong, in fact, that
would we have set all this up and still have not said exactly what it is?
They were caramels.
She made him homemade caramels, his absolute favorite candy. But added poison.
Yes.
Because it's so readily available at the time.
Yeah, no, it's kind of insane how you could just off somebody with poison just back in this day.
Right? Like,
because I'm just like, you just have access to it. Now you have to have like this like clarification again. And I don't know what poison it is. However, I'm pretty sure we
try to figure it out, and just like the most common at the time,
I want to say one
arsenic.
God damn it! I was going to say it at the same time. Yeah. Arsenic. Yes, I don't know how arsenic was so readily available. Isn't it used in rat things?
Yes.
Okay.
Rat poison. It was like apparently used for like some beers. And I'm like,
oh, I have one. I found out yesterday. Speaking of weird things and like ingredients, there is this cigarette brand from the 50s called Kent. Just found this out yesterday. Mm-hmm. They were around the time that they were like, apparently from what I said, or read, watched, whatever, right? Fuck it. Apparently, this is around the time when they decided that, cigarettes might be bad for you.
Oh, no.
So this company apparently went and started putting asbestos as filters for the cigarette. And I don't know if you've seen those mesothelioma commercials that we grew up with and are probably still on there. Anyway, some of the families got up to $4 million because of the diagnosis of mesothelioma, thanks to this. Looking at the cigarette itself, if I were in that day and age and I were smoking cigarettes and I saw green fuzz in my cigarette,
I would be disgusted.
Not doing it. I'm not having it. No, absolutely not. Completely 100% no.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, he ate these candies without a thought in the world, not thinking that his one true love would lace it with arsenic.
Thank God. Had to take him out somehow.
Once he ate those,
their kid.
Now I'm not sure how many caramels he ate in one sitting. I don't know how many doses or how much arsenic you need to put in, because clearly I've never killed anybody.
Yet.
It's not going to happen. It'll never happen. Okay, listen, I have too much anxiety. Do you know how many fucking anxiety pills I have to take every night?
I know.
Anyway.
I totally won't help hide the body. What?
I don't know.
I feel like I would. I feel like if you did ever like say no questions asked, I need you to help me bury a body.
I feel like rather than that, I think that I would text you, bring a shovel, bring a disguise. I'm picking you up in 10.
I'd be down. When I won't go ghost hunting, but I'll bury a body.
We're not serious, by the way.
We just watch a lot of true crime.
dude.
and vibrate.
Like, oh my god, man, it's so. I hate
I
that I
already
have
have
to.
ideas in my head that I feel like I can't even say now because it's just like I'm not gonna do anything.
Listen,
We're not
I
gonna do
have
anything.
one of my friends. We're
What if
watching.
we did though?
Good God. I have one of my friends watching the Netflix documentary Sins of Our Mother. I already know what happens. I've been following the case. Have you heard of this?
Nope.
Do you know the Doomsday Mom?
Nope.
Okay. The Doomsday Mom, she's named Lori Vallow. She, oh Lord, dude. I don't even know where to start with this one.
How about we start with finishing?
Listen, we're gonna get. Listen, you know how it goes. We're already 40 minutes. Anyway, I want to move on. I'll finish this at the end because we have a lot of content for you guys. So he ate, I don't know how many candies. Like I said, I don't know how much arsenic it takes to kill somebody. I know that some can take a few doses over a course of time, but in one sitting, I'm not exactly sure how much that would be.
He'd probably gobble that shit up. I mean, you're a farmer, you're working all damn day,
you're drinking.
He probably ate.
But for that matter,
like so much.
He drinks a lot too, I'm assuming because of what happened. So
True.
How do we know that she didn't put arsenic in his alcohol on top of it?
Coulda.
Because I think from what I understand, arsenic I think has like a sweet flavor to it, I think. From the stuff I've watched, because I mean I watched a lot of Deadly Women, y'all. So I think that arsenic is known to have like a sweet taste or even be tasteless. So putting it in caramels makes 100% sense to me. I mean, like perfect sense. So, you know, he ate it. He's dead, right? So a neighbor comes by, supposedly, and is checking on her because they're seeing that she's acting fucking weird.
She is frantic as fuck, running back.
She's looking like Chris Watts when he realized that his neighbor had a fucking like a Ring camera, basically. If you haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. I think it's called, oh god, I don't know, but it's got Chris Watts on it.
She's just like running back and forth.
Yes, I mean just like
piling wood against the house, and it's like, why?
What are you doing? Like just completely out of pocket for what she actually usually does. Normal. I mean, when you got something to hide, you got to be good at hiding it. Otherwise, you're gonna get found out. And she was not. So naturally, we had a sheriff get called, and apparently she was very aggressive towards the sheriff, whose name apparently is Fred Springer, and she was taken into custody. And while there, he finds out about Mr. Leonard Crane, her husband.
I would say we failed to mention his actual name the entire time.
It's fine. He's not important because he's dead.
Doesn't matter.
he matters. All right. He was killed in a cold ass way, and I'm sorry he went that way. If this is a true story,
well, he should have. He should have been watching the kid. Though.
Yeah, but whatever. Anyway, so she ends up being charged with first-degree murder. Unfortunately, our great justice system, there was no conviction.
Like, oh, she has mania. Clearly, let's throw her in an asylum.
The ace in the hole for anybody. I am unstable. I am unstable. I have mental issues. I need to have the insanity plea deal.
But there is like some give to her possibly actually being insane due to the grief of her child being, lost at such an early age. So quite possible that she actually was a little insane after that.
Yeah.
But she might
so I mean, we stew in anger for a couple years, grieving our child, blaming our husband for the death of our child, who we found out recently had been on his ass drunk.
Murder him, get busted.
In her eyes, she thinks justice is served.
Hell yeah. What?
She agrees, apparently. So I suppose in the eyes of somebody who is deemed sane, this would look the opposite. So she was placed in the mental hospital, now called Terrell State Hospital, which is where they put the people who need help mentally, or they are disabled mentally. There's a lot of reasons to be put there. Some people live there permanently because their family just can't help them. So regardless of the fact, she is put in this hospital, and well, let's just say she's a little more cuckoo than we thought.
Yeah. But I don't know if you have this, or you probably do, So reportedly while there, she rips up her bed sheets and turns it into a doll of her child and starts carrying and talking to it as if it was truly a living version of her daughter.
Apparently, she kept it hidden from the doctors for a good amount of time until the other patients started noting that she was actually singing and talking to this doll.
Giving it sweet, sweet lullabies.
And, I've talked about this many times before. State hospitals are notoriously overcrowded back in this day. Back in this time, like I said,
because
everybody was insane. If you had even a slight depression,
Mania.
boom, mania. If you were like us, mania. Pungence. He would throw us in because he thinks that we are not stable.
I mean, we're not.
No, we're not. But one of us is medicated. And the other, she just, I don't know what she does.
I'm too broke for health insurance, so I can't get tested. America.
So anyway, because of overcrowding, this lovely woman gets released from the state hospital.
Because apparently she's just so quiet and doesn't seem to be a threat to herself or others. Which is, she is in there for murdering someone. How is that not a threat to others? Like, what?
I can't understand that either because I'm like, she killed. But you know what? Now that I think about it, we have other people who have committed crimes like this, who are free and walking among us, even restarting the family. There's one famous one from the 90s. I don't know if you know it. Andrea Yates. Not her. She's not Andrea Yates. She's just Drea. So she supposedly drowned her kids. I think she was having postpartum.
By Yarona.
Good Lord. No, she had postpartum depression, I think it was, and the husband was instructed to not leave her alone with the kids, and what did he fucking do?
There seems to be a fucking trend here.
So he left her alone with the kids, and so we have 5 little bodies who were drowned in a bathtub. I remember this. This is the first time I ever heard a true crime case in my life. I was still a child. I don't even know how old I was. But I remember hearing it, and I remember, holy shit. I was like, Mom, who is this person? And what does this mean? And my mom tells me she killed her kids, and I'm like, oh shit. But I'm only like this tall, so it's like, oh snap, not oh shit. Regardless, postpartum depression. That's it. She is released. She is free. She now has a new family. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, supposedly she wrote a letter to her sister, and I didn't even know she had a sister because literally no family was ever mentioned outside of these 3.
I didn't have the notes written down for that, but I do remember skimming a thing of that.
I have the letter. Of
course you do.
Of course I do. Quote, "Dearest Aggie, I am elated. I have been informed by Dr. Matthews that Marcy and I will be returning home in less than 3 weeks. As you can imagine, Marcy can barely contain her excitement. Every night she asks, 'Is tomorrow the day we go home, Mother?' Very soon I will be able to tell her yes. Our stay here has been somewhat of a trial. Though I have been grateful to the good doctor and his staff in their dedication of our treatment and recover, Leonard's death had put us in such a severe state of melancholy that I feared we would never escape it. These past few years have been more difficult than any in my life, and my dear Marcella, after all that she has to endure, has become my strength, my flame of hope." End quote. Clara Crane. She was deemed sane. She was deemed perfectly
sane enough to leave.
She was deemed that she was perfectly healthy enough mentally to leave and be among the public once again.
And no one knows where she went when she was finally released.
Her whereabouts are... That's it.
Just like no record of where she went afterwards. So everyone just assumes back to the family farm.
A few years after her release, that's when the children began to go missing. So, what do you think? Do you think this is a cautionary tale, stranger danger, or do you think that this is somewhat based on actual fact?
There's just enough actual fact before the children's disappearance of like, yes, true crime. She murdered her husband. That is true. I found the fucking news article, which I need to
Yes.
fucking. Do you also have it?
I happen to have a screenshot. You can't read it well,
Yes, I can.
but I have a screenshot of this. It says, wife poisons husband with candy. At the time that she poisoned him, she was 28, according to this article. And she, oh, let's see. I can't read it. It's very blurry.
It's very blurry.
I tried to find like an actual article, but I wasn't able to. And you know how far I fucking dig for this shit.
Mhm.
It's really hard.
It confirms that she did in fact did it with caramels. Well, it's suspected that she did it with caramels, but confirmed for us. Good enough. It
Yeah.
confirms the husband was older. It confirms that the death of the child was 2 years prior. But there's a lot confirmed in just the one little news article.
Basically, like I'm reading it right now. I have it like zoomed in mega. Basically, everything that's been said is true, at least according to this article that I have pulled up right here.
The part where it gets iffy is the children's disappearances, whether or not Clara is in fact the one behind it all.
That right there, I don't have that. I only have the article portion of where she killed her husband.
Yeah,
I don't have anything else. That's all there is. There's nothing else. The rest, I believe, is just brought up by speculation.
I'm pretty sure
Tales of caution, stranger danger.
They wanted someone to blame.
Yes.
And with her, like her location was not known. Easy person to blame. And a lot of people are like, oh, they disappeared by the farm. And it's like,
farm?
You all have farms. Like, why does it have to be her farm? Because she's the only one that's not accounted for.
Pretty much. So, cautionary tale, true story, urban legend. Nonetheless, this is without a doubt probably one of the most sinister urban stories or urban legends that I have come across. And I mean, I come across some dark shit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I send everybody dark stuff that they know who I am and they know what I'm going to send them. They signed up for this when they wanted to be my friend. I'm just saying that. There are things that I know about that I probably should never have found out, but I know about them. Nonetheless, am I going to talk about it here? No, because I don't want the FBI to come for me.
They're already watching.
It's the first time they're seeing my face.
Abushi. They got the Facebook, they got the Instagram, they got all of it.
There's no Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I've never had Facebook.
They have your MySpace archive.
Dude, God, my biggest regret is that when I was like 17 years old and I was still in the emo phase, but I was more goth than emo. I deleted my fucking MySpace without even thinking about saving the pictures that I had on there because holy Lord. Sweet Jesus, dude.
I have lost some of them due to like the files getting corrupted, but I do still have some of my original MySpace photos.
Oh, good Lord. What can I say, man? I mean, what a time. And you know, I think it's really funny when I see emo kids. Now, like the e-kids, I guess they're called.
Oh, like the e-girls.
Something like that. Listen, we are what they call an elder emo.
Elder emo. I was bordering the line of scene.
I was straight emo. I was there when, the very first spiky hair in the back, straight bangs was a thing.
Duck butt.
That's what it's called.
It was the duck butt. I always wanted to do that, but my hair's curly and I didn't get a straightener till later, and I couldn't figure out how much
I could never do it, but I had the one where they had like that choppy mullet type thing, where they would get like the shorten your length on top, and when it was cool. It was cool back then. I thought about doing it again, but I was like, do I want to go down that path? No.
I just remembered the most perfect description for the duck butt. Sasuke Uchiha. He has a duck butt
Who is that?
from Naruto.
I never watched Naruto.
What?
I watched One Piece.
For the anime nerds, Sasuke Uchiha has a duck butt.
Never saw it.
So he does have like some bangs in the front, but like he doesn't do like the whole side swoop bullshit. Like
I had a
he did,
friend that
but,
was like
he has like
150% classic emo. Look her up in the dictionary type thing. I think a few years after high school, it took her at least 5 to 6 hours to get all the black hair dye out of her hair for her to have blonde hair. I was like, damn.
Jesus.
But I mean, it was crazy back then. Like,
I still have a lot of my studded belts.
You know, I was too fat for studded belts on it. Well, because Hot Topic never made plus size shit. And if they did, you have to, they still fucking don't. You have to order it online. And that's what's shitty. I'm like, I'm a fat fuck. I hate ordering online, even though Amazon packages show up at my doorstep every day. But
I was literally at like the tail end of the in-store sizing, so I squeaked by.
I know that I had always wanted trip pants when I was in high school. Yes, always. But my legs were too short.
Yes, I wanted them, and the sales associate turned to my mom and was like, "She's too short." I was like, this fucking bitch. You know how long it took me to convince my mom to buy like $70 pants? It destroyed my hard work.
My hopes, my dreams,
my fantasies. we were literally just watching Nightmare Before Christmas.
And honestly, we've been watching it since we were little, so I mean, it doesn't really matter.
My first tattoo.
Literally.
Horribly. Fuck that apprentice. I hate
yeah, I'll never forget. We scheduled an appointment with the actual person who tattooed my foot, and instead of him tattooing,
don't have your appointment in the books, and it's someone you recommended too. Is what throws me off the most. Is that like he should have known that I would have been like down and immediately there, because you were already a client.
Yeah, I mean, he does great work. I still follow him to this day.
Does.
But what he did to her, I find completely fucked up. It was wrong. But here we are, and we were younger, and we were dumber. But regardless of the fact, the tattoo is had, and it's a good story to tell all the time.
I do want it touched up, so it's not as annoying to look at, because every time I look at it, I fucking
forget that I have tattoos. I forgot that I have my arms tattooed. I forget that I have my arms tattooed, or like my one arm with tattoos on it, not tattooed. I wish I was tattooed like that. I want to be fucking covered.
I legitimately forget about this sometimes.
Yeah, like completely forget. And then I'm like, I have the semicolon, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh yeah. But then I'm the same person who forgets that I have fucking surgical scars all over my stomach now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but I looked down, I was like, what in the fuck was that?
And I have only one other tattoo, but it's hiding. It's hard to get to.
Just got some real platforms here, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
see, these are the exact same shoes that I had also had. No, not. I repurchased the same shoes that I had in high school. I'm so short.
I have my dog on my socks. And you might notice my dog is not here. She refused to come home with me the other day when I went back home, and so she is happily playing and digging in my parents' backyard.
I'm offended that she didn't come.
I swear. And what's worse is that she has a grooming appointment soon. So I have to go pick her up, or have somebody come here and drop her off to me, so that I can make sure that I have her for this grooming appointment, because she needs it.
Okay, side stories, because we keep on getting distracted by other bullshit and the side stories we plan.
Oh, calm down. It's fine. It's only been an hour.
I know.
So anyway, Drea seems to be in a rush once again. Who likes to get me? She likes to keep me on track, and I don't like to stay on track. We have 2 other stories because we thought it would be a nice little treat for you guys. I have no idea. I wonder if yours is a trick or a treat.
A bit of both.
Oh. We have 2 different stories. I have no idea what she wrote about, and she has no idea what I wrote about. I'm sure she has an idea of what I wrote about, but I'm sure she doesn't know which one. Just like I have no idea what she wrote about, even though I half-ass figured it out earlier, or she gave it away. Either way, regardless of the fact, Rock, paper, scissors for who goes first.
Do you actually want to rock paper scissors?
Yes.
This shit. Well, at least we're recording. How? Let's make sure it's actually like
All right.
the on 3 or
So
after
rock,
3.
paper, scissors, shoot.
So rock paper scissors shoot. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Loser goes first.
Wow. Okay, I thought the winner was gonna go first, but okay. Now you're just gonna force me to go first. Okay, let me double-sided notes.
I don't see. Listen, my eyes are not that bad, but I can't handle the paper because that's too damn small.
I mean, yeah, I did like shrink the hell out of the freaking font size, but I just like being able to hold it without like my freaking laptop barely holds a charge. My laptop was an old piece of shit that fell off of my freaking loft bed in college. I'm barely holding on
That
together.
laptop has had more adventure than both of us in our